Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm bringing you my June TBR, which is going to be my whatever-a-thon TBR. If you don't know what whatever-a-thon is, it is a month-long readathon hosted by Maddie over at Book Browsing Blog. I will leave her announcement video in the description box below. But there's basically teams and you pick a team and each team is a theme. So I am part of Middle Grade Monarchs, hence the orange, repping my team colour. And we have other teams like Camp Contemporary, Epic and High, or High and Epic, I can't remember the order. And basically you pick a team and you don't have to stick to reading books in your genre or team theme. But you do get bonus points for each book that you read that does fit that, but you also get bonus points for other things as well. But it's a very like low-key readathon if you don't have to do the competitive side of it, but you know me, of course I'm going for the competitive side. There are 15 prompts. You can double up on prompts, you can triple up on prompts, you can do all 15 prompts for one book if you want, but no, this is me, of course. I've picked 15 books. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started. It doesn't look great because I'm not good at this stuff and it's the first time I've tried, but I did try and do the buy flag in eyeshadow. Didn't come out great, but we're just gonna pretend that it did. Because obviously June is also Pride Month in the UK. So yes, let's just get stuck in and let you know what I'm going to be reading. Okay, so first up, I did do a goal of 12 books because I am recently averaging at like 12-13 books, so I don't want to push myself too hard. Although I have picked 15 books, plus I have another one which didn't make any of the prompts because I forgot about it. So yeah, we are gonna just go through them. So you get extra points if it fits your team's theme or genre, which obviously Middle Grade Monarchs is middle grade. You get extra points if it is LGBT, and you also get extra points if it is one of the hosts' faves. So each of the hosts for each of the teams has picked 3 books each, and if you read any of those books or the books that are in that specific series, you get extra points because it is a host fave. So I do have a few that I'm going to be getting extra points for, because of course. So I'm just going to get stuck in. So the first prompt: a cover that reminds you of the Pride flag. Now this one fits in very nicely because it is the middle grade monthly book for June. It is also middle grade. It is also LGBT. And that is Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow by Benjamin Dean. I'm very excited to read this. This sounds such a heartwarming read. So from what I've heard about this, it's about a boy who his parents are going through a rough time, and he basically finds out that his dad is gay and he doesn't really know what that means, and then he finds a poster or something. Yeah, a colourful flyer falls out of Dad's pocket. Archie thinks he may have found the answer, and it's to do with Pride. So yeah, I just love the sound of it, and look, it's got like rainbow colours. So, and if you open up the front cover, it's got that on the inside. So yeah, definitely reminds me of the Pride flag. Next up we have Reread, a comfort read, and for this I'll be reading Blood Witch by Susan Dennard. Obviously I needed to fit this in for Witchlands Along because the June book is Blood Witch. This is my favourite of the series and it's chunky, so you can see why I needed to fit this on the readathon. I don't think I get any bonus points for this because although I'm pretty sure there is a sapphic relationship in this, so I think I could get points for that. But I'm very excited to read this. To be fair, any book that I decide to reread is a comfort read for me, so this would have been any reread really, but I chose this one because I'm very excited to reread this. This is my favourite of the series so far, and I'm thinking I might try and get to this very early because I have been granted an e-arc of Witch Shadow, which is the new book, which doesn't come out till the end of June, and it's not the Witchlands a long book until July, but I might just read it in June because I don't want to wait. But yeah, I'm very excited for this. This is Aiden's book and he's my favourite character. But I think this is the best book for plot, and I just absolutely love this book. So next up we have 5-star prediction. For this one I'm going to be reading Covette by Tracy Wolff. This is the 3rd book in the Crave series. I will actually be borrowing Liv's hardback copy of this because I have no clue when the paperback's coming out, and I don't want to wait and she doesn't want me to wait, so she's going to be bringing me her copy and I cannot wait to read this. This will also get additional points for LGBT because yes, something, yeah, if you remember what there's a little hint of something in Crush, and yeah, I'm not going to say any more than that because I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, I'm very excited to read Covette and I'm just so excited. Next up we have author's debut, and for this I'll be reading Solitaire by Alice Oseman. I'm very excited to read this. I don't really know anything about it apart from it's Tori, which is Nick's older sister from the Heartstopper series. So I'm really excited to see her side of things. It's not Nick's sister, it's Charlie's sister. It's Charlie's sister. And I believe this is set after Heartstopper. So Nick and Charlie are already in an established relationship by this point. So I'm excited to see that side of them. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. And this is obviously LGBT as well. And this obviously was Alice's first book. So yay. Next up we have Out of Your Comfort Zone, and for this I have picked a dystopian, and I think it might be sci-fi as well, and that is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. I've got the whole trilogy and I have not read any of them yet, so obviously I need to make a start on that. This is also one of Spoop's favourites, so it's a host fave, so I'm going to get the extra points for that. But this is what if death was the only thing left to control? So basically no one dies, there's no like illness and everything, and you have the scythes and they basically decide who is going to die and they just basically kill them. I think, I could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting from that. And I think this follows 2 of the professional scythes in their training. Again, I'm probably not telling this right, but this is what I think it's about. But yeah, I'm really excited to finally read this, and even though I absolutely adore dystopian, it is kind of out of my comfort zone because I don't read it often. So yeah. Next up we have Hauled in the Past Year, and for this I'll be reading Orion Lost by Alastair Chisholm. This is going to get me additional points for being middle grade, so my like team genre or theme. I got this was gifted to me for my birthday this year, I believe. Yes, this was gifted to me for my birthday this year, which was only 2 months ago, so definitely in the last year. I'm very excited for this. This could have also worked for Out of Your Comfort Zone because this is sci-fi and I don't read much sci-fi, but I'm very excited for this. I think there is a ship and I think all of the adults end up in like asleep or something, and it's this band of kids that are on the ship that are still awake and they have to basically guide the ship to safety. Yeah, this is why I don't do synopsises in my videos, because I'm terrible at them, because that's probably terrible. But yeah, it sounds really good. I have heard Jade at JD Ray Reads talk about this a lot, so I am very excited to finally get to it. Next up we have indie or self-published, and for this I'm going to be reading an e-arc which was kindly gifted to me by the author Lauren. This is The Iron Crown by L.L. McRae. I'm really excited for this. The name of the series, like this is the first in a series, and the series is called Dragon Spirits. So can you see why I'm excited for it? But the first line on Goodreads is: a new epic fantasy series bursts into life with the dragon spirits who reign supreme in the magic-drenched world of Tassar. I'm really excited to read this. I don't really know much else about it because I did read the blurb, and I'm trying to like, because I really want to go into this just like not really knowing anything, but I'm really excited for this. This did actually come out on the 28th of May, but Lauren only messaged me a week or so ago about it, and she knew that I wasn't going to be able to read it for release date. But I am definitely reading this in June. I'm so excited for it. It sounds incredible. And yes. Next up, we have POC representation, and for this I'll be reading Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. So, I am not a fan of contemporary romance. I mean, I haven't really read much of it. It's not my jam. But this is so hyped, and I thought, do you know what? I'm just gonna give it a go. So I put it on my wish list. It was gifted to me, and I'm very excited to read it. The more I hear about it, the more I'm like, yes. So this also counts as a host fave, because this is both, I mean, unfortunately you can't count it for both because two of the hosts have put this as one of their faves, but you can only count it for one, which is completely understandable. So this is both Steph and India's one of their faves that they picked. But I'm really excited to read this actually, which, you know, who would have thought? Next up, we have the poll pick, and I did this poll on Discord, which had on the Discord chat, which had Wondersmith, Dragon Mountain and Darwin's Dragons, and I kind of knew which one was going to get picked, and I'm kind of glad it was this one. And as you can see, Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend won that poll. Landslide win as well. I will be actually listening to this on audiobook. I listened to Nevermore on audiobook, and I really loved Gemma Whelan as the narrator. She was amazing. I've already bought the audiobook on Audible, all ready to go. I think my mum is also going to be reading this in June, so yeah. Next up, we have Fit a TBR game prompt. So this one was pretty easy. I mean, I don't have my own TBR game, but I had just recently watched Jade's, and she got a role on TBR Pursuit where it was a buddy read. So I'm going to be buddy reading Starfell, Willow Moss and the Forgotten Tale by Dominique Valenti. I'm going to be buddy reading it with my mum. We buddy read the first book together, and this is the second book, and I'm really excited to read this. I really enjoyed the first one. It was so lovely. And yeah, Willow Moss is a young witch with the power to find lost things. Her magic once saved the world, but now it's misbehaving. So the first book, it's called Willow Moss and the Lost Day. So basically Tuesday just disappears. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? One of the days just disappears. No one can remember what happened on the day. It's like it's just blank, nothing, there's no day there. So I'm really excited for this one, which is A Forgotten Tale. So yeah. Next up, we have another buddy read, but this is the actual prompt for buddy read. And I'll be buddy reading Ghost Town by Rachel Kane with my mum and my sister. Obviously, this is the 9th book in the Morganville series, and we're really excited. They are getting chunkier. They are getting chunkier. But yeah, these are such good books. I love these, and I've been really enjoying buddy reading them. So yeah, this was definitely going on my TBR because I was going to be reading it anyway, and I'm pretty sure my mum and my sister have both put it as their buddy read pick as well, because they are both taking part in whatever-a-thon. We get the whole family involved in this stuff. Next up, we have disability or mental health representation, and for this I'll be picking Percy Jackson and the Singer of Apollo by Rick Riordan. This is a bit of a cheat because it is absolutely tiny, but there's no rules on how many pages a book has to be, so I'm taking full advantage of that. This was the World Book Day book for 2019, and yeah, I believe this just takes place after the main Percy Jackson series. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this because I love being in the Percy Jackson world. I've just finished the Magnus Chase series and amazing. So obviously all of the demigods are dyslexic, so there's disability rep in this. I am also buddy reading with my mum and my sister because we've been buddy reading all of them. But to be fair, this is a one sitting job, to be honest. So it's not really much of a buddy read. I also am gonna go with the fact that this is middle grade because I class the Percy Jackson series as middle grade. So I'm claiming it as middle grade. Next up, we have a bookish creators fave list. Now, this could have been a host fave from the list, or it could have been any book creator on any platform who have posted a faves list and you pick a book, but I am actually going with one of the host faves, which is Queenslayer by Sebastian de Castell. So Jade has put Spellslinger in her host faves, and this is the 5th book in that series. Obviously I'm not going to reread Spellslinger before I finish the series, and this does count, you can do that. So I'm going to be getting to the 5th book. I'm so close to the end of the series, it's unreal, but I'm really excited to this. I will be also listening along with the audiobook because Jo Jameson is the best, but I'm really excited to get back into the series because I read Soulbinder very recently and it was just amazing being back in the world, and I'm so close to the end. Did I mention that? So close to the end of the series. Next up, we have Cover Features Team Colour, and I am stretching it here, which would it be a Maddie readathon if people didn't stretch the prompts, because she's the queen of stretching prompts. But I'm reading Strange Worlds, the travel agency, The Edge of the Ocean by L.D. Lipinski. The team colour is orange, and if you look here, there's little orange fishes here. So there's orange on it. You can't deny that there is definitely orange on it, but I'm really excited to read this. Oh look, there's more orange on the back as well. Yeah. So this is also going to get me bonus points for being middle grade and LGBT. So bonus points there. But this is the 2nd book. I loved the magic and the whimsy of the 1st book, and I'm excited to see what happens in this book. But yeah, I'm really excited to be back with Flick and Jonathan because they're just so amazing. I love them both. So the next one is title last letter is the same as title first letter. So basically, I have to make sure I read a certain book before this one. So I'm picking The Creakers by Tom Fletcher. So this starts with T. So I have to make sure the book I read before I read this one is either Covette, because it ends in a T, or Orion Lost because it ends in a T and this starts with a T. So I don't know, I will probably read it after Covette because this is light and fluffy, and I mean the other one's middle grade, so it doesn't really matter. But I feel like this will be a nice one to read after Covette because Covette is going to blow my mind. I know it will. And this will be nice and easy read. It's got lots of like illustrations in and lots of illustrations in, so I think this will be a really nice read after Covette. But if I decide to read it after Orion Lost, that is also okay because T and T. So I'll be reading The Creakers. I've owned this book for so long. I got it signed at YALC 2018, I think. Was it YALC 2018? I'm pretty sure it was YALC 2018 when I cried in front of them because David Tennant had just been announced for the next day. That was a good day. That was a good day. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this, and it's gonna be such an easy read. As you can tell, I'm trying to like make things a bit easier for myself. So that's all the books I'm going to be reading for Whatever-a-thon. I have 2 more books that I want to try and get to in June. So the one I will 100% be getting to in June is Twisted Fates by Danielle Rollins. This 2nd book in the, I think it's called the Dark Stars trilogy. And the 1st book is Stolen Time, and it is so good. I got Stolen Time in a book box club box. I can't talk today. A couple of years back, and it was just so good. And yeah, I bought the sequel, and the 3rd book has just come out. You will see it on my May haul when I post that. But I'm actually going to be buddy reading this with my sister and my friend B. We've been talking about, so my sister was saying about how she wants to read Twisted Fates because the 3rd book's just come out. And then in my group chat, some of the girls were saying that they wanted to read the 3rd book, And then me and B were both like, oh, we need to read the second book. So me, B and my sister are gonna be reading this one. So I'm excited to read that one because I really enjoyed Stolen Time and thought it was such a brilliant book. And then one of the other ones I want to get to, which is going to be so easy to fit in, is Heartstopper Volume 4 by Alice Oseman. I love this series, and obviously this is just a graphic novel series. These are so easy to read, to the point that Volume 3 I actually read on the train ride home from the event where I met her for Volume 3. That was actually the last book event I went to. February the 5th, 2020. Before the world went to what it's gone to now. This is going to be a one sitting read. It's going to be so easy. But yeah, I couldn't really fit it on because I wanted to read all the others. So I thought I would just add this on because it's going to be easy to fit in. So I do have another book that I do want to try and squeeze in, but if not, it will be in my July TBR if I don't get to it in June, and that is Wendy Darling by A.C. Wise. So this is like a dark retelling of Peter and Wendy, and I'm just... so many dark retellings of Peter Pan are coming out recently, and I'm just so here for it, because I feel like a few years ago it was all Beauty and the Beast retellings, and then there was like a few Cinderella retellings that come out, and now we're getting Peter Pan, and I'm like here for it, so here for it. But yeah, I'm hoping to get to this, but if I don't, it will go on to my July TBR. So that is my June TBR. I've got a fair amount of LGBT, which I'm really glad about, and a couple of rereads because why not reread books when I've got all of these unread? And you know, I've got a fair amount of middle grade on here, so I'm really excited for this, and I kind of just want it to be June now, but at the same time I'm like, no, you haven't even done your own week-long readathon yet, calm down. But I'm actually kind of glad that the readathon I'm hosting, which is the Royal Readathon, Royal Celebration, that starts on Sunday, so tomorrow, so you know when I'm filming this. It starts tomorrow and it ends on the following Saturday, on the 29th, which means I have the 30th and the 31st to either just pick up whatever I like or just have 2 days off from reading, because I'm literally finishing Eurovision-a-thon today and then going straight in to my own readathon. So I think I might just take those 2 days to just not read anything and give myself a bit of a break before whatever a-thon starts on the 1st of June. But I'm really excited for this. I'm so excited. I don't think there's any readathons going on in July, which means July will be like a free month for me. But I will still be posting a TBR because there are some books I want to try and prioritise in July. But then August, it's the next month-long instalment of the Royal Readathon. So keep your eyes peeled. We will be announcing it officially very, very soon, but we're very excited. But that's not for that. That's not for now. I'm just really excited about it and keep talking about it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these books, let me know if you liked them. Obviously, no spoilers. But I'm really excited for this. So excited. And I love it when there's a competition, even though like not everyone does. But I like that there's the option to be competitive, but if you don't want to be competitive, you don't have to. And I really love how Maddie's done this. It's just amazing, and so much work into all the graphics and everything. And yeah, it's just amazing. Go check out the announcement video, even if you don't want to take part, like, just yes. But I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye.